Stockholm Silverpilen, or Silver Arrow, was an unmarked subway train used in the 1960s. Its metallic silver appearance and lack of passengers earned it a sinister reputation. Urban legend says the train appears late at night and only stops for lost souls. In 1997, a maintenance worker named Eric was assigned to repair tracks near a closed station. Around midnight, he heard the rumble of a train approaching. Expecting a routine check, he turned to signal the driver but froze. The train had no markings, and its windows revealed empty, dimly lit cars. As it passed, Eric saw ghostly figures standing silently inside. Eric quit his job shortly after, claiming he was haunted by the sound of phantom wheels and muffled screams. To this day, locals report sightings of the Silverpilen, warning that anyone who boards it will never return. In 2014, a family in Westfield, New Jersey, moved into their dream home at 657 Boulevard, but their joy quickly turned to fear when they began receiving letters from an anonymous stalker. The sender, who called themselves the Watcher, claimed to have been watching the house for decades. The letters grew increasingly disturbing, mentioning the family's children and asking if they had found the secrets of the walls yet. The Watcher claimed the house needed new blood and hinted at sinister rituals performed by its previous occupants. Police were unable to trace the letters, and the family eventually fled, leaving the house empty. Years later, new owners reported strange occurrences, lights flickering, doors slamming, and whispers echoing through the hallways. Some believe the Watcher is not a person but a spirit bound to the house, ensuring its dark legacy continues. In 1998, four friends went camping in Devil's Valley, a remote location in Colorado notorious for strange disappearances. They were drawn to the legends of people vanishing without a trace and hoped to uncover the mystery. The first night was uneventful, but on the second night, they heard whispers coming from the forest. At first, they thought it was the wind, but the whispers grew louder, repeating their names. One camper, Alex, wandered off to investigate and never returned. The remaining three searched for him until dawn but only found his flashlight near a tree marked with deep claw-like scratches. The following night, another friend disappeared while the others were asleep. By the time rescue teams arrived, the last two campers were gone. Their campsite was intact, with food still cooking on the fire, but there was no sign of the group. To this day, no one knows what happened to them. Locals believe a malevolent forest spirit haunts anyone who dares enter the valley. In 1987, Jenny, a new nurse, started her first night shift at Hollow Creek Hospital, a facility known for its outdated equipment and eerie hallways. The third floor of the hospital was closed for renovations, but Jenny kept hearing noises, faint sobbing, and the sound of footsteps coming from above. Curious, she ventured up to the third floor, where she found a young girl sitting on a hospital bed, holding a teddy bear. The girl didn't speak but pointed toward a dark corner of the room. Jenny turned to look but saw nothing. When she turned back, the girl had vanished. Later, she learned that the hospital used to treat terminally ill children on the 3rd floor. One of them, Emily, had died waiting for her parents to return, clutching her teddy bear. Staff members who stayed long enough often claimed to see Emily or hear her crying. Jenny quit after just 1 week, convinced that something unnatural lingered in the hospital. In 1932, an archaeologist discovered an ancient amber necklace buried in a tomb in Eastern Europe. The artifact was said to belong to a cursed queen who used it to protect her soul. Ignoring warnings from locals, the archaeologist took it home to London, where his family soon began experiencing strange occurrences. His wife complained of feeling watched, and his son had recurring nightmares of a woman with glowing amber eyes. One night, the archaeologist found his wife standing in their dark kitchen, whispering in an unknown language, her eyes glowing like the necklace. The family disappeared a week later, and the house was found abandoned. The necklace was returned to the tomb by a local historian who claimed the queen's ghost appeared to him, demanding its return. Since then, no one has dared to disturb the tomb again. Route 47 in Arizona is infamous for its phantom hitchhiker. Over the years, drivers have reported picking up a young woman in a white dress who asks to be dropped off at an old farmhouse. One trucker, Carl, shared his chilling encounter. He picked up the woman late one night and noticed she was eerily silent, her face pale and cold to the touch. When they reached the farmhouse, she thanked him and stepped out of the truck. As Carl watched, the woman walked toward the house and vanished before reaching the door. Carl later learned that the farmhouse had burned down in the 1950s, killing a young bride on her wedding night. To this day, the hitchhiker is believed to be a restless spirit, still searching for a home that no longer exists. Blackwood Quarry was a bustling site in the early 1900s until a landslide trapped dozens of workers, flooding the quarry and leaving many bodies unrecovered. Since then, strange occurrences have been reported near the water. Fishermen claim to hear cries for help and see ghostly figures rising from the depths. In 2013, a group of teenagers went swimming in the quarry at night. One of them, Mark, felt something grab his leg and pull him under. He emerged gasping for air, claiming he saw pale faces staring at him from beneath the water. That same night, their campfire went out inexplicably, and they heard voices whispering, "Leave us." The group fled, and Mark swore he would never return. Locals now avoid the quarry, believing it to be haunted by the spirits of those who died there.